On a quiet morning in Delhi, Gaurav Tiwari, India's most famous paranormal investigator, sits on his balcony reading the newspaper. Usually, news was just information for him. But today, a headline caught his attention. Hawkins Hostel in Mumbai. A young man is brutally attacked by ghosts. Animal-like scratches are found on his neck and stomach. Interesting. Mumbai's Hawkins Hostel. Gaurav immediately took out his phone, found the phone number of Hawkins Hostel on the internet, and dialed it. "Hello, I'm Gaurav Tiwari. Can I speak to the hostel warden?" Gaurav talked on the phone, packed his bags, and, without wasting any time, he caught the next flight and arrived at the hostel in Mumbai by evening. The corridor in the hostel was dark. There he met Ganpat Kaka, the hostel warden, a timid old man. Fear was clearly visible in his eyes. "Sir, you've come from Delhi. I told you to call. Don't come. That room number 306, is cursed, sir. Uncle, you won't know or believe it." "How, and cursed is nothing, it is negative energy which can be cleaned. Give me the key of that room." "The key, sir, I am telling you again, please do not go there." After the last incident, a tantric came and closed the door with an enchanted thread. He said that whoever breaks this thread will lose his life. I'll add, sir. Go back. Uncle, I am here to find out the truth. If it's so dangerous, it needs to be stopped. Do you want this to happen to other kids? Don't you? Then come with me and show me that room. Uncle Ganpat takes Gaurav to that room. Led to the room. 3rd floor. Room number 306. A red sign on the door. A thick thread was tied with vermilion and lemon and chili. Gaurav opened the door. Uncle Ganpati left. The room smelled strangely of decay and dampness. Gaurav turned on his flashlight. The room was in a mess. A broken chair, torn books. Gaurav turned on the EMF meter and infrared camera and pressed the recorder button, saying, "My name is Gaurav Tiwari. Is there anyone here who wants to talk to me?" Everything was quiet for a while. Gaurav was looking around the room. Then his eyes fell on a mirror that was covered in dust. He wiped the mirror with his handkerchief. Just then, the lights began to fluctuate, and he saw a shadow in the mirror. Gaurav was staring intently at the shadow when suddenly, someone knocked loudly on the door. The sound was so loud that he was startled and backed away. Turned around. But where he had just seen the shadow, there was nothing there. The doors. There was a persistent knocking sound. He was about to open the door when he noticed something in the room. She landed on a plant in the corner. She stared at it intently for a few moments, as if trying to understand something. Then she opened the door. He opened it. There was a constable standing outside. "Who gave you permission to come in?" The constable said sternly. "Get out of here." "What a great exorcist. Sir, just give me 5 minutes. I'll prove it. I'll tell you there really is someone here." But the constable didn't listen to him and threw him out of the hostel. 2 days later, that shadow still lingered. Gaurav couldn't get past the thought of. He decided to go back to the hostel. This time, he spoke to the warden, Ganpat Kaka. "Uncle, please tell me, has this incident that happened in this room ever happened before? Or is this the first time?" Uncle Ganpat shook his head and said, "No, son, this is the first time this has happened. I've been working here for 20 years, but I've never seen an accident like this." Gaurav remained silent for a moment. Then he said, "Okay, uncle. Now, just tell me, where is the boy who was attacked?" Uncle Ganpat told him that the boy was hospitalized. Upon hearing this, Gaurav immediately headed straight for the hospital. Once there, he went to meet the boy. "Hello, my name is Gaurav Tiwari." Gaurav smiled and extended his hand. Lying on the bed, Ishan took her hand. He had already read about Gaurav, a renowned paranormal investigator who uncovered the truth about many strange cases. So, there's a slight sliver of hope in his heart. Woke up. Gaurav pulled a chair and sat next to Ishan and said, "Ishan, whatever happened to you that day? Tell me everything in detail. Maybe then I can solve this mystery." Ishan took a deep breath and began to explain the truth. "Brother, I've been living in that room for the past 6 months. I never felt anything strange there. But that day, I was talking to my girlfriend on a video call. We were having a good conversation, laughing. Then suddenly, she started looking at the screen repeatedly. She started to panic, looking around. She said to me, 'Ishan, there's someone behind you.' I thought she was being frank. But it was good that Rohini was on video call that day. It was otherwise, no one would have believed me." Gaurav thought for a moment after listening to Ishan. "It was." Then he asked in a serious tone, "Where were you before that incident? What did you do? Where did you go? Everything before that day? Tell me in detail." Ishan tried to remember. "No, it wasn't anything special or strange. But yes, Rohini and I went trekking 2 days ago. We spotted a strange plant on a hill." Before Ishan's eyes, the scene seemed to come alive again. The air was cool. Sunlight filtered down onto the hillside. It was among the bushes was a small plant with a beautiful, uniquely shaped flower. It was in bloom. "Ishan, look what a beautiful flower that plant is. Yes, Rohini is really beautiful. Let's take it with us." Ishan looked around. No one seemed to be paying much attention. He took the small piece of cloth along with the soil. The plant was carefully uprooted. Then Ishan replied, "I brought it to the hostel. I planted it in a pot and kept it in my room. It was near the window." Past. Gaurav's gaze froze for a moment, as if he had grasped some hidden clue. He was now completely convinced. It was that plant was the root cause of this tragedy. Gaurav went straight from the hospital to the hostel. Evening fell. It was already and the streets of the old hostel were strangely damp and quiet. I told Ganpat Kaka everything, the trek, the unknown plant, and the events that followed. Uncle Ganpat's face paled as he listened. "Son, it's all because of that plant," he said. He asked nervously. "Yes, uncle," Gaurav said in a low but firm voice, "I'm sure. In that plant itself. Something's been tied up. Or should I say something's been brought in." The two slowly moved towards the room. As soon as I opened the door, the air inside felt cold and heavy. The same flower pot was in the room. Near the window, the leaves of the plant were gently swaying. Even though there was no breeze in the room, there was no gust. Gaurav opened his bag. He placed several small devices in different corners of the room and one near the plant. Ticked. Irregular waves began to flicker on the machine's screen. "You're right here," he said softly. "Wait. But no matter what happens, don't panic." Uncle Ganpat said yes with a dry voice. Gaurav stood in the middle of the room and asked in a deep voice, "Is there anyone else here besides us two, Ganpat Kaka and me?" For a moment, the entire room seemed to hold its breath. Suddenly, the terrifying sound of a mirror shattering echoed through the room. Gaurav's attention was jolted to the wall. He went to the mirror. Cracks had spread across it like spider webs. But at that very moment, Ganpat Kaka, standing next to him, a choked cry came out. Gaurav looked back. A thick black smoke-like shape appeared in the air. It spun and pounced straight towards Ganpat Kaka's face and entered his nose and mouth. Uncle Gaurav yelled. Uncle Ganpat's body went stiff. His neck bent backward at an awkward angle. She bent down and slowly raised her face. When she opened her eyes, her pupils were bulging. Her lips had turned completely black, thick, deep, as if someone else was looking inside. He shook in a torn manner. The voice was his, but heaven belonged to someone else. This echoing room is mine now. Gaurav even took the teeth. Let him go. I say, let him go. Ganpati Kaka, or that power within him. She slowly turned towards him. A perverse smile spread across her face. At that very moment, Gaurav, he snatched the flower pot from the window. Stop, he growled. If you move even one step further, I'll throw it away right now. 94%. I'll break it. The air in the room suddenly thickened. Ganpati Kaka's body jerked to a stop. His dark eyes focused on the plant. And for the first time, fear flashed through that dark presence. Gaurav held the plant tightly with both hands, as if he would crush it the next moment. I'm telling you one last time, leave them. Suddenly, Ganpati Kaka's body shook violently. The same black smoke suddenly shot out from within them, spreading through the air like a wave. And in an instant the darkness of the room vanished. The dark color of Ganpati Kaka's eyes vanished. His body went limp and he fell into a trance. Gaurav fell to the ground. Gaurav bent down to help him up. Gaurav carefully lifted the flower pot. They woke up at. Uncle Ganpati was still weak but had regained consciousness. Both were back in no time. Gaurav got into the car and headed straight for the same hilly area from where Ishan and Rohini brought the plant. Gaurav was silent the entire way. He kept glancing back. She was still walking towards the plant, as if she were still sensing some invisible threat. A few hours later, they were on the same trekking hill. Arrived at. Dusk was falling, and the mist on the mountains was adding to the mystical atmosphere. It was Gaurav slowly walked in the direction where Ishan had said he had found the plant. He stopped as he took a step forward. This is the place, he said softly. It's a light spot on the ground. There was a sunken circular mark. It seemed as if someone had recently dug something out of the place. Gaurav sat down on his knees. He held it with both hands. He leveled the soil, then carefully placed the plant in place. He pressed the surrounding soil to stabilize the roots. As if locking something back into its prison. But then his eyes fell on the dust and dry leaves on the ground. He removed the layer with his hand, and as the soil beneath cleared, a shape emerged. Round. Circle with lines drawn inside triangle, some strange symbol and burnt ashes in the middle. Uncle Ganpati shuddered. What is this, son? Gaurav's eyes grew serious. Tantric ritual. Someone had performed a tantric ritual at this place and had conjured a spirit with this plant. It was tied. When Ishan uprooted it, the tie broke and it came back to Ishan's room with the plant. Planted back in the same spot. Was necessary. Just then a cool gust of wind blew. The leaves of the plant swayed slightly and then fell still. It was. Gaurav stared at the figure for a few moments. Then he stood up. Now it will stay here, along with whoever is tied to it. That too. After that day, no shadow was ever seen in that hostel room again. No strange sounds, no attacks, as if nothing had happened there.